And this is exactly why we love the Champions League, guys. But before we start talking about the match day recap, please, guys, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. A lot more cool content coming out in the future. But let's just move right into it, guys. Champions League match day 2, leg 2 of today's games, guys. And let's start off with an absolute banger of a game. Sporting versus Bodo Glimt. And again, looking at the first leg, guys, Bodo Glimt finished the game off, you know, very, very calmly, 3-0. You expected them to go through. Obviously, if you guys saw my previous videos, you guys saw that I had Bodo Glimt going through to the next round with that 3-0 win in the first leg. It's very hard to come back from that. But Sporting proved me wrong with a 5-0 win against Bodo Glimt at home, which in aggregate brings them up to 5-3 and has them going into the next round of the Champions League, the quarterfinals, guys. But man, what an absolute game. I did not see any of this coming. Like I said before in my previous video, I didn't think Sporting was going to do a lot, you know, in this game. Obviously, they had to go for it, right? They had to attack, they had to press, they had to do this and that, at home especially as well, with the crowd there, with the fans chanting. I knew that Sporting were going to have a chance to do something. But I also thought, you know what, Bodo Glimt, a great team. They faced big competition in the Champions League already. Man City, they beat them. Atletico Madrid, they beat them. Inter Milan, away and at home. So I thought, you know what, going to a Sporting, you know, Portugal away, they would probably be able to kind of, you know, edge it out, even if they lost maybe a 2-0, or even if they scored 2-1, something like that. I had a feeling that Bodo Glimt were going to be able to hold on to the result and go through, but no, man. No, not even close, man. Bodo Glimt were playing like a shell of their former selves. This is not the Bodo Glimt that we saw face against Manchester City, Atletico Madrid, and Inter and beat those teams, right? This was a Bodo Glimt that you could see and you be like, you know what? Yeah, like, how is this team here? How is this team made it this far? This is not a Champions League team. I don't know how they made it this far, because they just weren't. They were night and day from their first game, the first leg of this matchup. But Sporting, man, again, you know what? They were also night and day, but in a good way. 5-0 in this game, guys. And if we look at FootMob, we look at some of the recap of the game. Let's start off with the ball possession. 66% possession for Sporting in this game, 34 for Bodo Glimt. A expected goals GA for Sporting of 3.78, and for Bodo Glimt, 0.54. 38 total shots to Bodo Glimt's 9, which is absolutely insane. But the most insane stat here is 9 big chances for Sporting and 0 big chances for Bodo Glimt. So yeah, guys, it was an absolute belt to ass type of performance, guys. Sporting came up hard, they came strong, they knew what they wanted, they went for it, and they just went off. They truly went off. The whole team, looking at the ratings as well here on FootMob, the whole team played absolutely amazing. You have Luis Suarez as their striker, finishing with an 8.9, a goal and assist. You have Trincao, who was at Barcelona, now back at Sporting with 2 assists with a 9.0 rating. And you would think with a 9.0 rating, he would be man of the match. But no, the man of the match was actually the left back, Araujo, with a 9.2 rating, who also got an assist in this game. But again, the whole team played well. You have the goalie Silva with an 8.5, Ignacio with a goal in this game as well, their center back with an 8.5, and then Pote, one of their wingers, with an 8 as well. The whole team played well. The captain as well of Sporting, Hujlemand, I believe is his name. I'm not sure where he's from. I think he might be Norwegian, Denmark. He's from Denmark. Danish lad, but he also had a great game. Big performance from the whole team. Sporting just really stood up to the plate and did what they had to do. Meanwhile, you look at Bodo Glimt's team and their match ratings. Man, it's just all I see is very low 6s, a 5.8 there as well. It's just not the team that we expected, man. They came out in this game, and I don't know what their game plan was whatsoever. It just was not working for them. But yeah, we look into the goals as well here, man. Bodo Glimt, man. Bodo Glimt were just not it. A first goal coming into the game as we see here in the 34th minute by Inacio, which is their center back. I believe that's from a corner as well. Gets the goal in the 34th minute. I was thinking, you know what, maybe they have a good chance here. Let's see what happens. Again, it's too early. Maybe it's just one goal. They're going to be attacking more. Maybe Bodo Glimt takes advantage, counterattack, something like that. But no, Pote in the second half comes in and scores in the 61st minute of the game. So at this point, 61st minute, you're thinking, okay, something might actually happen here because Sporting was all over Bodo Glimt. It's 2-0, 3-2 aggregate for Bodo Glimt. And then finally, after so many chances, Bodo Glimt concede a penalty where Luis Suarez, not the one from Barcelona, Colombian Luis Suarez, gets a penalty, steps up to the plate, and scores the penalty to bring it 3-3 on aggregate and brings the game to extra time. And at this point, guys, I believed that it was over. I think even Bodo Glimt players themselves believe that, you know what, there's no chance that Sporting's not winning this game. They had all the momentum. You saw the cameras panning towards the Bodo Glimt fans. They were all quiet as you can be. They all knew as well, I think, that it was kind of game over. Sporting had all the momentum. The fans were cheering. You're at home as well. You come back from a 3-0 loss in the first leg to tied up 3-3 going into extra time. It was destined to be Sporting's game. So, of course, in the 92nd minute, like I said, their left back Araujo got the man of the match this game. Scored the, I guess you could say, winning goal for Sporting to make it 4-3 in extra time. And then at the 120th plus minute, another goal from Sporting to finish off the game. 5-0 for Sporting. And guys, man, it was absolute destroyed. They absolutely destroyed Bodo Glimt, man. You got to give kudos, though. You truly do got to give kudos for Bodo Glimt to actually even be at this position, to have gone this far to the, round of 16, beating big teams, facing off against Inter Milan that you would think would be in this position instead. But no, Bodo Glimt did their thing, man. Congrats to them. Well fought throughout the whole Champions League season. But Sporting, man, when the tough became tough. I don't know how the saying goes, but Sporting stood up, they showed out, and they showed why they are a top team in the Champions League. If we look at, I want to see how they're doing in their table in the Liga Portuguesa. They're actually second in the Liga de Portugal, just under FC Porto with 62 points, Porto with 69. So you know what? They're actually fighting for the league as well. The last 5 games in the league, they've won 3, drawn 2. So they're doing very, very well in the league as well. So guys, Sporting are a proper team. And again, they have a lot of great players that you don't really see or talk about. Luis Suarez, like I said, the Colombian, Trincao, we saw he's a special talent, man. Unfortunately, Barcelona and him didn't work well, but we all know he was a great baller. Inacio as well, a talented young center back, Portuguese lad as well, who's really, really good. He's 24 years old. And the team in general just played very, very well, man. So congrats to Sporting to going on to the next round, the quarterfinals of the Champions League. 5-0 win, man. Bodo Glimt, you know what? Kudos to you, but Sporting, man, absolutely destroyed you, and they deserved it. Let's move on to the next game now of the Champions League Leg 2. Let's go to the Arsenal versus Leverkusen game, where this game went on. Obviously, Arsenal is at home as well. The first leg finished 1-1 with Arsenal scoring in the last 9 minutes, a penalty that, if you look back at it, it was a penalty. It was a little soft, but it was a penalty. So they did tie it up in the last minute to make it 1-1. Going now home in the second leg, I predicted, if you guys saw my video again, Arsenal to go through, and that's what happened. 2-0 Arsenal against Bayer Leverkusen at home. And great game, to be honest, an absolutely great game from Arsenal. Leverkusen just looked like they were, they couldn't do anything, man. Leverkusen were just lost, man. Arsenal were all over them. Again, another situation just like Sporting. Playing at home is different in the second leg, especially, man. The second leg, I believe, is a huge, favoritive thing that the team gets. Whatever team gets home in the second leg is always favored to win because it's just such a momentum shift that you can get from that. But actually, if you look at the stats here on FootMob, we see 58% possession for Bayer Leverkusen. I think that also comes as well as, they were attacking definitely at the end of the game, at the later stretch of the game, so they're probably having more possession. Arsenal just relaxing more at that time because they already had 2-0 going up. So Arsenal had 42% possession. 21 total shots for Arsenal, 9 for Leverkusen. One big chance each, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, great game from Arsenal, like I said. I thought maybe Leverkusen were going to somehow pull something off. They did very, very well to hold off Arsenal in the first leg. But then Arsenal show everyone why they are one of the greatest teams in the Champions League, but in the world in general. We look at the match ratings here as well on FootMob. Declan Rice baby with an 8.6 in this game, being the man of the match of this game as well. Gets a goal, and actually beautiful goal as well. We'll talk more about that as well. We have Eze with an 8.5. Saka, captain of this team, with an 8.4, and then Raya as well with an 8.3 with a lot of crucial saves in this game as well. But the whole team played very, very well. We look now onto the Leverkusen match ratings. We see here only 2 guys in the green. Garcia in the mid, and then their goalie as well, Blaswick, who actually had an amazing performance as well with a 7.8 rating, the best on the Leverkusen squad. He had some really, really big saves. An incredible shot stopper. You saw, especially during the corners that Arsenal got, because they got a lot of corners. I actually want to see how many corners Arsenal got. But as I looked that up, great performance from Leverkusen's goalie. They had so many corners, Arsenal, and it just looked like they were so calm, Leverkusen, to deal with those corners. It was nothing to them. It was absolutely nothing to them. We see how Arsenal take advantage of those corners very, very often in the Premier League. But against Leverkusen, they just couldn't do it, right? Like, we see here Arsenal with 10 corners. You would think, with the way Arsenal play and the way we all know how Arsenal plays with their set pieces, especially corners, they would try to get one goal in there. But no, Leverkusen defended very, very well in the corners. They actually got 8 themselves. But yeah, the goals actually didn't come from set pieces or corners. They were actually banger goals. The first goal coming from Eze in the 36th minute. Like I said, Arsenal were all over them. They were getting a lot of chances. Leverkusen goalie was basically practically saving them and keeping them in the game, but until Eze scored in the 36th minute, where he gets the ball, chests it down, I believe, turns around, the ball's still bopping, hits it on the volley, top left corner, an absolute peach of a goal. Strike, what a goal it was. It was top 90. The Leverkusen goalie had no chance. He was having a great performance, some great saves, but that was just unstoppable. That was top left corner. And then as it just walks it off, points at the badge and just says, you know what? That's me. That's what he does. And you know what? As in the last couple games, has been playing very, very well. He scored an absolute banger. But then from that, like I said, Rice comes in the 63rd and scores the second goal to, end the game, kind of just close it off. Scores a beautiful goal as well, where unfortunately Leverkusen were actually couldn't get it out of their side, couldn't get it even out of their own box. They were fumbling it, doing this and that. Rice gets at the end of it, and then he just places it bottom right corner. Just a nice cheeky finesse, and it was a beautiful goal. Declan Rice again doing his thing for Arsenal. A lot of Arsenal fans saying that he's been the best player for this team this season. And if Arsenal go all the way, if England do pretty well with in the World Cup, Arsenal Declan Rice has a great chance of actually, winning the Ballon d'Or, or at least being up there with the players like Harry Kane and Mbappe and those guys too. So you know what? Looking at this game, you can definitely say that Rice has been very, very key in this game and for the whole season. So I do see why Arsenal fans, praise him or, boost him up a lot. Besides that, Saka, captain of the game, he hasn't been doing what you would expect from, your star boy, as everyone says. But he's done all right. He's been doing pretty very well. But yeah, that's the game. Arsenal beat Leverkusen 2-0 in the second leg, 3-1 on aggregate, to go on to the next round of the Champions League. And we'll talk about their matchup later on in the video. Obviously, if you see by the bracket, they'll be facing off against Sporting, so that's actually be a crazy game as well. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, congrats to Arsenal, 3-1 aggregate, moving on to the quarterfinals of the Champions League this season. So congrats. Let's move on to the next game now. PSG versus Chelsea. And when I say belt to ass. Oh my gosh. Chelsea got absolutely destroyed. I said it again in my previous video. Chelsea have no chance of coming back from this. Obviously, from the first leg, it was, I believe, 5-2 from the first leg. Yes, it was. So going into the second leg, Chelsea at home in London. Again, I was thinking maybe the same thing with Arsenal. They're going to come and score a goal, this and that. But unfortunately, Chelsea just didn't look like the Chelsea we thought they were. Again, remember, this was the matchup of the Club World Cup final just a couple months ago, where Chelsea did come up top. Cole Palmer had an amazing game. Chelsea were all over PSG. But this game right here, it was the complete opposite. PSG put 3 across Chelsea in the game. This game right here. And guys, like I said it in my recap of the first leg, when Kvaratskhelia came on, he was a complete different maker. And I guess Luis Enrique heard me. He watched the video maybe, but he understood that Kvaratskhelia should not be coming off the bench. He actually had him starting this game. And because of that, Kvaratskhelia paid him off with a goal in the 6th minute of the game, which was actually a terrible, terrible goal because of the Chelsea defender. He had a defender like Sarr, who I believe was his first game in the Champions League. Bodo Sarr. He's only 20 years old, and it's a hard thing to do, right? Like, you're facing off against one of the best wingers in world football. It's your first game in the Champions League. You're only 20 years old. You're trying to go for the win in this game. Unfortunately, Safonov sends a ball over to Kvaratskhelia. Sarr tries to get behind it, tries to read the ball. Unfortunately, doesn't read it right, so he fumbles his legs. Kvaratskhelia gets behind it. He goes into attack, puts it on his left foot, and then just finishes it bottom right corner. Kvaratskhelia is one of the players that you can say is truly two-footed, just like Dembele. He can score with both feet, and Sarr just couldn't do anything, man. He tried his best, tried to hold him off, but Kvaratskhelia, he's a tough cookie, man. He is very, very tough. He's strong on the ball. His low center of gravity, too. It's hard to take the ball off him. So, yeah, Kvaratskhelia with a goal very, very, very early on in the 6 minutes. At that point, guys, it was 6-2 aggregate score. So I'm like, yeah, this is over. This is completely over, man. We all saw it after this game. Kudos to the Chelsea fans, though, because they stayed the whole game. You got to still support your club, man. At the end of the day, you got to still show support for your club. But yeah, right after that as well, we saw that Barcola scored in the 15th minute as well. Another error from the Chelsea defense. Let's actually look at the ratings as we're talking about this too. So 2 goals in the 15th minute. Already 2-0 up. We have Sanchez in the goal in net with a 5.2 rating at the end of the game. And who remembers when Sanchez actually said he wants PSG. He wants to face PSG because he wants to face good competition. And look what happened now. Sanchez, man. You brought this onto yourself, man. You got absolutely pummeled, man. And yeah, man, a terrible, terrible performance from him. To be honest, everyone on this Chelsea team, the highest rating was Caicedo with a 6.9. Besides that, man, it was terrible. Cole Palmer, man. Let's just take a moment to talk about Cole Palmer. A 6.2 rating in this match. He got substituted off just before the 60th minute, and he was, I don't know, man. He hasn't been the Cole Palmer we know. He's been a completely different player, a shell of his former self. That final of the Club World Cup, he was the man. He was making Nuno Mendes, Pacho, all of them look like nothing compared to him. But this game, man, and the last couple games, this whole season, realistically, he just hasn't been that player. Obviously, he was going through a pretty much a big injury in the beginning of the season, at the end of the season as well, of last season. But Cole Palmer, man, we can all see the quality that he has. He's a quality player. I think sometimes it's just he's very nonchalant. He kind of wants the ball a lot, and I don't know what it is. He just I think he tries too hard to kind of bring the game to his own tempo. Like only a couple certain players can do that. A player like Messi, players like Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, even a player like Pedri. I know I'm saying a lot of Barca players. They're all Barca players actually, but yeah, like even a Pedri is a player who can really bring that ball down to his tempo, play at his tempo, and I think Palmer's tried to do that, but it's not working out for this team. especially with the way that Chelsea plays. They're very counterattacking, high line, pace, power. You got Neto on the wing as well, so you really want to take advantage of those counterattacks, that pace. And then when Palmer brings it down, tries to slow the tempo down, I don't think it works well. It kind of counteracts the way that Chelsea should be playing. So yeah, he just hasn't been playing very, very well whatsoever. If we look at the PSG match ratings at the end of the game, brought to you by FootMob, we have Safonov, who's actually the goalie for PSG, got a 9.3 rating, who also got the man of the match. And guys, another great shot stopper, another great performance from a goalkeeper in the Champions League. A lot of great saves. He had some massive saves. Let's see how many saves he has actually. 9 saves in this game, man. 9 saves in this game. Absolutely balling out, man. Congrats to him. He played absolutely amazing. And then you also have players like Barcola with a 7.6. Like I said, Cavallo with a 7.9. Mendes with a 7.8. So no one else really with anything higher than an 8 besides Safonov with a 9.3. But that comes down to, obviously, they were kind of playing to a little bit less of a tempo as well. Obviously, at this point, 15 minutes into the game, it was already 2-0 up. So yeah, I understand it. Aggregate, you're going into it with a 7-2 lead. So yeah, I understand when you park the brakes, you go into second gear, and you start to relax a bit, because there's no reason to really go out there and try to get injured or go for it, force yourself. So I truly understand about that. But yeah, Chelsea, horrible performance. PSG goalie with big saves. And yeah, I would hate to beat Chelsea, man. I would truly be. I would hate to beat Chelsea because, man, at the 62nd minute, when Chelsea were kind of trying to push back, they were having some good chances. Mayulu for PSG scores the dagger, the third goal of the game, to make it 8-2 on aggregate and to make this game 3-0 as Chelsea were playing at home. And guys, yeah, at that point, it was completely over. Game is done. Game is gone. Chelsea, man, they did their best. They just couldn't handle it, man. Sometimes you got to realize that you have a tough opponent ahead of you. And again, PSG are the reigning champs of the Champions League. And you saw it in this matchup, in the first leg, in the second leg. PSG are still contenders for the Champions League, in my opinion. They're a top team, and it'll be hard to beat, man. PSG, Real Madrid, all those teams, my Barcelona, of course, as well. I think those 3 teams are going to be very, very tough to beat. But yeah, congrats to PSG. 8-2 on aggregate. Chelsea fans, I'm sorry, man. It just wasn't your day, man. PSG are that team. Let's move on to the final game of this match day, the second leg. Real Madrid versus Manchester City. And Manchester City playing at home as well. Guys, we all saw the first leg as well, man. 3-0 finals in the first leg with a hat-trick from Valverde in the first half. One of the craziest hat-tricks I've seen in my lifetime. Absolute bangers. Every single goal was even better than the last one. Like I said in my previous video as well. Every single goal just got better and better and better. But going into this second leg, obviously the game is back at Manchester at the Etihad. So I said in my previous video as well, maybe Manchester City have a chance to do something. But I did say at the end that Real Madrid were going to come out and still go forward in the Champions League, even win this leg as well, the second leg as well. And as I said, as I predicted, it was right. Real Madrid finished the second leg of the game 2-1 against Manchester City. And guys, the game did not start off well, man. The game did not start off well. We look at the lineups as well. Let's see if Pep Guardiola was overthinking it once again. I think he learned his lesson, because after the first leg, as we see the lineup here, we see that he actually started off with Ait Nouri at left back, Nunes at right back. Kusanov still getting the start. And actually, Kusanov had a great performance this game. Unfortunately, they did lose, but he was playing at the center back, paired to Ruben Diaz, Donnarumma in net, and then you have Cherki. Again, I think Pep is finally understanding that Cherki should be getting more minutes, and he started in this game. Doku also getting the start in this game as well. And then Haaland up top, and Rangers at the 10. But yeah, guys, like I said, man, Real Madrid are a different team in the Champions League. They can be struggling in every other competition. They can be freaking 6th. I don't even care. They can be 6th in La Liga, and they would still be top tier in the Champions League. They are a Champions League side, and I hate to say it. It pains me to say this as a Barcelona fan, but Real Madrid are a Champions League side, and as Gareth Bale said himself, all they think about is Champions League. All they want is Champions League. And you know what? That's a great attitude and mentality to have as a team, right? You can be in the lowest of the low, but when you go into the Champions League, when you need to survive, when you need to show out, ball out, your team does. So congrats to Real Madrid, man. You got to give them kudos at the end of the day. We look at their lineup. We look at their football ratings as well. Trent with a 7.5 rating. Again, I always thought that, you know what, Trent was going to get exposed this game from Doku's pace. And you know what, he's going to get exposed. But no, great leg from Trent as well in the second one. A good game at the end of the day for Trent in general. Leg 1 and leg 2, Valverde with a 7.2. Didn't do too much as he did in the first leg, of course. I mean, coming from a hat trick in the first leg is very hard to kind of do better than that. That's for sure. So he finished off with a 7.2. He just had to do his thing. He did his thing, so that's good from him. Tchouaméni, man, he keeps on what's the word? He keeps on providing, man. He keeps on doing a lot of great things that I'm seeing, and he's actually been playing a lot better than I expected. He finishes off the game with an 8.4 rating with an assist as well. And then we have Güler, who scored an absolute peach of a goal in the La Liga just the weekend ago from, like, I don't even know how far, like 70 feet out. I don't know, like past the midline, which is absolutely crazy. I'm sure you guys saw that as well. Courtois, again, also big moments in this game. I believe he had some crazy saves. Yeah, 4 big saves in this game as well. Finishes off with a 7.0 rating. But the man of the match, Vinicius, who didn't do too much in the first leg. He obviously missed that penalty in the first leg as well. Didn't miss it. Donnarumma saved it. But at the end of the day, Vinicius, again, when you talk about Champions League, Vinicius balls out. You will never see Vinicius have 2 bad games back-to-back in the Champions League, man. That is not how Vinicius is. And again, as a Barca fan, it hates me to say this because I do not like Vinicius. I think he's a troll. I hate the way he plays. He always asks for it. He's very selfish. But what can you say, man? When he performs, and that's what he did in this game. 2 goals for Vinicius, finishing off the game with a 9.0 rating, as well as the man of the match. And guys, yeah, like I said it, the first goal for Vinicius from a penalty in the 22nd minute comes from an error from Bernardo Silva, where, like, again, I said it, Manchester City are going to go into this game in the second leg having to attack. They're going to have to go out there, try to get a goal early, very much attack. We all knew that was going to happen. Real Madrid were going to defend, and after counterattack as hard as they can as well. You're going to see Vinicius up there. They're going to send the ball through him, and they're going to just make him do his thing. And that's what exactly happened in the first goal. Vinicius gets the ball on the left, takes a beautiful shot while he cuts in, takes a shot, hits the post. The ball comes back out. I forget what player for Real Madrid gets the ball back, but Vinicius finds his way back inside the box. The player crosses the ball in. He takes another shot. Bernardo Silva on the line, on the goal line, has his arms behind his back, and unfortunately, he does save it. Everyone thinks it's okay. You know, Donnarumma thinks, you know what? Oh, he saved it off the line. What a great save. But if you look in the replay, Bernardo Silva does, in fact, lunge towards the ball with his arm. So even though his arms were behind his back, he did lunge towards the ball with his arm to save the goal. So in my opinion, I think it was a correct penalty to be called there. So the ref went to VAR, double checked that. He saw that it was a penalty at the end of the day. But the craziest thing, I 100% agree it was a penalty. 100%. Again, it pains me to say this as a Barcelona fan. We all know how Real Madrid loves their penalties. Real Madrid, we all know that saying. But it was a penalty, 100%. The craziest thing was that Bernardo Silva goes and gets a red card after that, just 20 minutes into the game. And at that moment, the game was gone. The game was absolutely gone. For Manchester City to get a red card in the 20th minute, it was over, man. You can do as much as you want. Manchester City can go out there, attack. But when you're a man down and against a Real Madrid team like this, who are going to expose you, even if you have 11 men on the field, it's going to be worse with 10. it was over. Game over. Red card for Bernardo Silva, captain of the team as well, gets sent off in the 20th minute. He also knew it was a goal. He definitely knew it was a penalty as well. But for a red card, man, I think that's a little too harsh. That completely changes the momentum, the game, everything. I think a yellow card and a penalty would have been more than enough. But hey, I don't know. The ref gave him a red card. You can say what you want to say about that. A lot of people are saying that, obviously Real Madrid probably pay the ref or something like that. We all know that type of saying. But yeah, red card for Bernardo Silva. Penalty for Vinicius. And this time, he did not fumble it like he did in the first leg. He actually scored the goal. Celebrates in the corner as he always does, man. He is a troll. At the end of the day, Vinicius Jr. is a troll, but he knows what he's doing. He knows he does it on purpose. He tries to rattle the other crowd, rattle the fans, rattle the players, and he starts doing the little whining thing, celebrating in the corner, doing his thing. But again, you can hate him, but you can respect it as well because he deserves it, man. He's absolutely balling this game. After that, in the 41st minute of the first half, where Manchester City were still pressing. You know what? They were actually still pressing out there. Obviously, Real Madrid at this point were 4-0 up. So they're, again, I think that they were in second gear, just relaxing a bit, just holding the ball up as much as they can, counterattacking after that. But Manchester City get a chance in the 41st minute and get a goal thanks to Haaland, who kind of got lucky. I think the ball just crosses in. The ball finds himself at his feet. He finishes it, kind of a tap-in type as well. But Erling Haaland, man, hasn't been having a good season so far, I believe. Like, this game alone, yes, 1 goal, but he had 5 shots on target. And it just hasn't been his game, man. He hasn't been having a good leg. The first one and the second leg. He does finish it off with an 8.0 rating. But just after he scores that goal, in the 57th minute, he got subbed off anyways. He was mad. At the end of the day, of course you're going to be mad. You're one of the best players in the world, and you get subbed off just like that after you score. But yeah, Manchester City get that first goal. It is 1-1 in this match. It is 4-1 in the whole leg. But they were having chances. You know what? Manchester City were having some chances. So we had Cheddar, who had some great chances, taking some great shots. Roger as well had some chances there as well. Doku, at the end of the game, was trying to get some more, chances, taking some more shots as well. But it was just too late at the end of the game. And then by the end of the game, where at this point we all knew Real Madrid were, kind of settled. They were going through to the next round, to the quarterfinals. In the 93rd minute, just a couple seconds before the time is up, Vinicius scores his second goal. Beautiful goal again as well. The ball gets crossed in from the right-hand side. Vinicius with a beautiful run, to be honest. He cuts in, cuts out, goes behind the defender. The ball comes in. No one sees him in the back post. He just places it on the volley in the net. And yeah, he celebrates as well, does his thing. He does. He likes to dance. He likes to, troll the fans as well. But at that point, you can't blame him, man. He's been cooking, man. So yeah, 2 goals for Vinicius. 2-1 final. Like I said, I had a feeling that, yeah, Manchester City were going to go out there, maybe try to, get some goals in there. But I had a feeling that Real Madrid were still going to win the second leg because of how high pressing Man City were going to be. They're going to attack, and Real Madrid were going to sit back and counterattack. And it's exactly what they did. But yeah, Real Madrid win this game to go into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And guys, that is our day 1 of the second leg of the Champions League. If we go into the rounds, let me see if I can pull up the table here. 1 second. Let me pull up on my phone, if anything. Let me see here, because I know I have the table saved up in a bracket formation. One thing I also want to mention is that it's funny how we have a lot of Premier League fans saying how, 5 Premier League teams left in the Champions League in this stage. But what happened? 5 Premier League teams, and 2 of those teams, 2 big teams, got absolutely destroyed. Belt to ass. Manchester City got destroyed 5-2, and then Chelsea get destroyed 8-2 as well. So guys, yeah, for sure there are a lot of Premier League teams in the Champions League still, but for two teams to get knocked out in this type of way, it is not looking good for Premier League football. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below, but that is not look good for Premier League for two top-tier teams, especially a team like Manchester City. Yes, we know Madrid's good, but to lose in that fashion, 5-1 in aggregate, is not a good result whatsoever for Premier League. That's just how it is. Arsenal holding the line though for the Premier League, fans out there winning against Leverkusen. But yeah, like I said, looking at the bracket now, a lot of people were saying the left bracket is the hardest bracket out there, besides the right bracket. But obviously that was not the case in these games, especially in the second leg. We have Chelsea easily getting destroyed by PSG, demolished by PSG. A lot of people were saying that game was going to be close, but no. PSG are going through. Now we wait up to see if either Liverpool or Galatasaray win their game to see who PSG face. And then we have Real Madrid absolutely destroying Manchester City. So they go forward, and now they're waiting to see who is going to be facing off against Bayern or Atalanta. Realistically, it's going to be Bayern because they destroyed them in the first leg as well. So yeah, realistically, it's going to be Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid. We have PSG who can potentially face Galatasaray or Liverpool. That game is very much out there still. Any team could win that. On the right side of the bracket, we still have to see Newcastle versus Barca, Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea. But it is on the right side, we have Sporting versus Arsenal. So that game is also going to be a very, very good game. Obviously, Sporting, like I said, coming from a great, great game. Coming from a comeback, a remontada, as you can say, and then Chelsea just doing their thing. So that's going to be a great game right there. But tomorrow, guys, is the next leg of the next games of the Champions League. We have, like I said, Newcastle versus Barcelona. We have Atletico Madrid versus Leverkusen. And then we have Atalanta versus Bayern, and also Liverpool versus Galatasaray, guys. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think of the games today. PSG destroying Chelsea, Real Madrid destroying City, Arsenal holding it for the Prem fans out there, Sporting coming back from a remontada, the comeback of dreams. But guys, let me know what you think of those games. Let me know your comments down below. And then tomorrow, we'll be reacting to as well the next games, the other 4 games of the Champions League. So guys, again, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're loving what you guys are seeing here, please put me a follow down below, guys, so we can do more of these videos. But then till then, guys, follow for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao.